A father for a day. The autumn sun filtered through the golden leaves of Central Park, casting long shadows across the walking paths. James Whitmore sat alone on a weathered wooden bench, his expensive suit slightly rumpled from a long day at the office. At 35, he had built an empire in technology, but success had come at a price. His calendar was full of meetings, but his life felt empty. He loosened his tie and breathed in the cool October air. This park bench had become his refuge, a place where he could escape the endless demands of being a CEO. Here, nobody knew his name. Nobody wanted anything from him, or so he thought. "Excuse me, Mr." The small voice broke through his thoughts. James turned to find a little girl standing beside the bench. She couldn't have been more than 7 years old, with blonde hair pulled into 2 neat ponytails and a pink dress dotted with yellow sunflowers. Her blue eyes were serious, far too serious for someone so young. "Yes?" James asked, softening his voice. The girl held out a crumpled $50 bill. Her small hand trembled slightly. "I need to hire you," she said with careful determination. James blinked in surprise. "Hire me for what?" "I need a dad, just for one day." The words came out in a rush, as if she had practiced them many times. "Tomorrow is the father-daughter dance at my school. Everyone's going with their dads, and I don't have one." James felt his chest tighten. He looked at the money in her outstretched hand, then back at her face. There was no manipulation in her expression, only honest hope mixed with the fear of rejection. "Sweetheart, I don't think," he began. "Please," she interrupted, her voice cracking. "I saved this money for 3 months. I did extra chores and everything. My mom doesn't know I'm asking. She'll be at work anyway. I don't want to be the only one without a dad." James sat very still. 20 years ago, he had been a boy without a father. He remembered every Father's Day at school, every sports day, every moment when other kids had someone to cheer for them while he stood alone. His own father had left when James was 5, choosing alcohol and absence over family. "What's your name?" James asked quietly. Emma Rodriguez." "I'm James." He paused, studying her hopeful face. "Emma, where's your mother right now?" "She's at work." "She's always at work." Emma's shoulders sagged a little. "She works 2 jobs so we can keep our apartment. She tries really hard, but she can't come to school things. And my dad," she trailed off, looking down at her shoes. "My dad left before I was born. Mom says he wasn't ready to be a father." The familiar ache of abandonment echoed through James. He knew that pain, the confusion of wondering why you weren't enough to make someone stay. "Keep your money," James said gently, pushing her hand back. "But I need your mother's phone number. If I'm going to help you, she needs to know about it." Emma's face lit up like sunshine breaking through clouds. "Really, you'll do it?" "I need to talk to your mom first," James repeated. "This is important. Emma, your mother needs to know where you are and who you're with. That's how we keep you safe." Emma nodded vigorously and recited a phone number, which James entered into his phone. "Her name is Sophia. She works at the hospital as a nurse, and she also cleans offices at night." James made the call right there, with Emma sitting beside him. When Sophia answered, her voice was tired and worried. "Ms. Rodriguez, my name is James Whitmore. Your daughter Emma is here with me in Central Park, and she's perfectly safe. I'm calling because she asked me to attend her school dance with her tomorrow, and I wanted your permission first." There was a long silence. Then Sophia's voice came through, sharp with protective fear. "Who are you? Why is my daughter with a stranger?" "Mom." Emma grabbed the phone. "Mom, he's nice. He said yes. Please, can he come to the dance?" James took the phone back. "Ms. Rodriguez, I understand your concern. I'd like to meet you this evening, wherever you feel comfortable, so you can decide if you trust me. Emma mentioned the dance is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I'm happy to meet you both beforehand." Another pause. Then Sophia sighed. "There's a coffee shop on Amsterdam Avenue, near the hospital. Carmen's Calf. Can you meet me there in an hour?" "I'll be there," James promised. An hour later, James sat across from Sophia Rodriguez in a small cafe that smelled of coffee and cinnamon. Emma sat between them, swinging her legs nervously. Sophia was younger than James expected, probably in her early 30s, with the same blonde hair as Emma and exhausted eyes that held fierce protection. "I need to know why you'd agree to this," Sophia said, studying James carefully. "People don't usually do kind things for strangers." James set down his coffee cup. "My father left when I was 5. I grew up without him, and I remember every single school event where I was the only kid without a dad. When Emma asked me, I saw myself in it." He met Sophia's eyes. "I built a successful company, Ms. Rodriguez. I have money and resources, but I don't have a family. Emma offered me $50 to be her father for one day, but the truth is, she'd be doing me a favor." Sophia's eyes glistened. "She's my whole world," she whispered. "I work so hard to give her everything, but I can't be in 2 places at once." "You're an incredible mother," James said firmly. "Emma told me about your 2 jobs. She's proud of you, even if she doesn't say it." The next evening, James picked up Emma and Sophia in his car. He had traded his usual suit for khakis and a sweater, wanting to look like a regular dad. When they arrived at the school gymnasium, decorated with balloons and streamers, Emma's entire face glowed. The dance was simple and sweet. James waltzed with Emma 2 slow songs, taught her to spin under his arm, and laughed when she stepped on his toes. He met her teachers, who smiled at the happy little girl twirling in her best dress. He took photos with her, both of them grinning at the camera. But the most important moment came at the end of the night. James knelt down to Emma's level in the parking lot. "Thank you for today," he said softly. "You reminded me what really matters." Emma threw her arms around his neck. "Can you come to more things? Not because I'm paying you, but because you're nice, and I like you." James looked up at Sophia, who was wiping her eyes. In that moment, something clicked into place. A piece of his life he hadn't known was missing. "I'd like that very much," James said. "If your mom says it's okay." Sophia smiled through her tears. "I think we could all use someone like you in our lives." 3 months later, James Whitmore still went to Central Park. But now he went with Emma and Sophia, teaching Emma to ride her new bicycle while Sophia actually got to rest on that same old bench. The lonely millionaire had found something more valuable than all his success. A family that chose him, and whom he chose in return. And it had started with a little girl brave enough to ask for what she needed, and a man brave enough to say yes.